Hi, I'm Molly, and today I'm going to show you how I use my DiGiGrid M at home. So I'm primarily a guitar player, and after having lived in various different flats and house shares over the past few years, it can be a bit antisocial to blast out guitar riffs at midnight, so instead I've opted for a silent rig. So I've just got an amp head as opposed to a cab or a cab with an amp with a speaker instead. And I use my DiGiGrid M for monitoring and recording. So first, a little bit about the M. It's a 2-input audio interface, so you've got a jack input and an XLR input and a stereo headphone output. Each input has its own independent gain control, and you've got LED metering as well. The XLR input has got phantom power and a low cut, and both of them have this mix button, which I'll get onto later. So first, let's have a look at my setup. So I've got my guitar. This is then going into my pedal board, where I've got compression, fuzz, overdrive, noise gate. That's then going into my amp head, which is applying either a clean or a distorted channel. Then the effects send of my amp is going back to the pedal board, where I've got noise suppression, chorus, phaser, delay and reverb. That's going back to the effects return of the amp. And now this amp has a built-in cab simulator, which means that I can select what sort of cab I want to simulate, what sort of microphone placement and so on. And then the output of that is going into the DiGiGrid M. There are 3 main ways in which I use my DiGiGrid M. So first off is with this mix button. So you may be able to tell it's my favourite button because nearly worn the text off by using it so much, but pressing this button for whichever input you want will send that input directly to the headphone output, and you don't even need a laptop or computer connected in order to do that. So it's really handy for just being able to monitor what's coming in, and very little setup required, just plug and play essentially. If I then connect it to a laptop, so simple Ethernet cable, I've got an Ethernet to Thunderbolt adapter just so it fits my laptop. I've then got my patching set up, so inputs 1 and 2 of the interface are going to inputs 1 and 2 of my laptop, and then outputs 1 and 2 of my laptop are going to the left and right of the headphone output. And then my audio device is selected as Wave Sound Grid, so the DiGiGrid. And that means that if I play music through YouTube or Apple Music or whatever, it will come out the headphones with, on top of it, my guitar, because I've got the mix button pressed. So that means that I can play music, play songs and jam along to them very easily. This also works for if I'm being lazy and just want to watch some YouTube or Netflix and practice building up stamina or something, stick a metronome on the background, and then I've got it all coming out of my headphones and not disturbing anyone. Finally, probably the most obvious use is recording. So works with essentially any DAW. You just select Wave Sound Grid as your audio input, and then you can go along and record your guitar.